It's Mary from the Movement Studio, and I just want to give you a few tips on how to care for your hands and your wrists and your forearms. And this is applicable for anybody that's on the computer or doing a lot of repetitive tasks with their hands. And these first three techniques, or the first couple things I'm going to show you, are from John Iams' work down in San Diego. He does Primary Reflex Release Technique. And they're real simple techniques. So the first thing is you're going to put your fingertips together and you do just a quick stretch and then a flick. So it's a real quick flick, just like that. And you would only do this about maybe 3 or 4 times. And if you do it quick enough, you'll sort of feel a little kind of release through your wrists, and you can just shake that out. And then the next technique is just a stretch. And what you do is just come to a wall and you put your hands on the wall. And the biggest trick with this is to keep your elbows straight. So you keep your hands on the wall and you try to lift your index fingers at the same time while keeping your elbows straight. Some people can't lift their finger, but just being here in this position is good enough. And don't worry about your thumb. Just focus on your fingers. And you're just going to hold that for about 10 or 20 seconds. Do each finger. And what that does is it contracts the finger, the muscles on the back of your forearm, which are your wrist extensors, and it stretches your wrist flexors. So, and just kind of shake that out. And then the other thing that's really helpful is to, these muscles on your forearm tend to get really tight. And so if I put my arm like this, grab my forearm kind of by my elbow, and just turn my palm down, as I fascially stretch with my fingertips here, laterally, I get a nice release in my forearms. So I've used these techniques a lot throughout my career doing body work, just to keep my hands and wrists healthy. Okay, the next 2 things I'm going to show you are 2 other techniques from Primary Reflex Release Technique. And these are techniques that work on the nervous system being upregulated, and they're really simple. And if you just palpate and you just touch the back of your shoulders, your scapula, usually there's some tender trigger points back there. So a really simple way to alleviate those trigger points and soften them is you put your thumb and your little finger together and you cross your wrists and you turn your thumbs towards your body, and then you just lie down. You just lie down and hold for 2 minutes. And then I always like to check to make sure that that actually did something, and then you can just repalpate and see if it's less tender, and usually there is less restriction in those muscles. Okay, the next thing I want to show you is for this web space between the thumb and the index finger, and this spot gets really tender when we've been using our hands a lot. So what you're going to do is you're going to take a pen or a pencil and you're going to put it in front of your 4th finger. And your thumb is going to be in this position, and you're going to do that with both hands. So this one, there. So I've got the pins in front of my 4th finger. It's a little odd position, and my thumbs are going to stay in this position. And then what you do is you lie down. And don't worry too much about your thumbs. Just put your arms overhead. I would recommend having your head on a pillow. And just rest your arms overhead and just rest your hands up there. You're going to hold this position for 2 minutes. And after 2 minutes, come up, take the pencils out, and just palpate and see if that area is less tender. So all these techniques should help down-regulate the musculature and the nervous system of the arm. And these tips really help to keep your hands, wrists, and fingers happy and healthy. Thank you.